for it, I guess. Henna being used.
I think
Uh,
this is a half rune Stavka combo.
mm,
Because she used the spin doctor. I don't think the chase off, unless Hannah was chasing the spin doctor, I'd be surprised. But it looks like we're shuffling measured and unknown, and I think that unknown means we're going to be doing Mavirus into Afrun. I think that's the only reason why you'd spin doctor. I'm be surprised if Hannah is chasing a spin here,
yeah,
right? On the game point turn.
yeah. We have to see whether or not this is gonna actually go anywhere. But it does feel like Why Not has to run this, and I think we're also probably just at time. There's only a couple minutes left in the round, so maybe Kalushi is feeling like pressure to try to push it and make it happen. But Why Not feeling more pressure is he is down on points.
Running at you again with the measure shuffling back. That's always the stress when it comes to game point. It's like, oh yeah, I need a steal to win the game, but also you have to be able to not die on the following turn because I do believe Kablushi definitely has a turn after this.
Yeah, something trashed out of HQ, going back in. I guess trying to say, uh, I'm just gonna try to win off the hand, and you can have the remote, which is a little surprising, but maybe realizing that Stavka Hafrun is just something that he can't deal with, and
Or even
trying to
just like
find the win
Zato.
elsewhere. Yeah.
Like you have to run their remote server like 5 times if it's Zato Event Horizon. Heaven forbid an off run.
Hmm.
Man, that reduced service was killer. That was a really cool line.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to love when there's those pet cards that just kind of come out of nowhere and have a huge effect on the game.
No, Archives I think was the check. I think we got him a virus purge. So we're running R and D. Looks like a tithe into a descent. So not a very taxing server. We used all our 20 charges, so this is just a single. Okay, looks like the stream is back up. It's on a new event. So we are still live, which is great.
Excellent. Welcome back,
Welcome back.
everybody.
Yeah, if you're tuning in, we've had some technical difficulties. Looks like we're back up. Looks like
We
actually that
did
was a
get steal.
Maskarovka on RD. Do we actually have points here?
Oh, is this a deep dive?
No,
That was
Sha.
a
We seen wait.
that was a deep dive.
Is this a deep dive? Off the top, we have an above the law, so we're definitely on somewhere between 5 and 4 points. Sorry, 5 and 6 points.
I think we just saw a deep
It's a
dive
deep dive, yeah.
pulling
And
the
he
win.
on the last possible turn, I believe time was called. He has a deep dive off central, spending 5 influence, of which we've been ripping through gachapons. That card was held in hand. Why
Oh
not takes
man,
it? Well played.
amazing finish.
Against a BOAC on archives, the deep dive had to go through, and Diz still nailed it. Wow.
And that was a slash and burn in the remote, so that would have been game. Why
Yeah.
not had to go for, and it landed. Like amazing, amazing play from both sides. Fantastic game. Started off slow, careened downhill into a crescendo. Like fantastic play both sides.
Yeah, I think Wino had to be on 6 points because he didn't pop the Hannah, which could have been necessary if he found enough 1 pointers. But yeah, he gets there. Well played to both players. If you're just tuning in, by the way, welcome to, I believe, a new stream. The last one just went down. So we're definitely dealing with some technical difficulties. So your patience is incredibly appreciated. I want to shout out myself and Chenchling. We are remote at this point, so we're not at the event. So there's a lot of the hard folks like Juniper working on the stream. So we're just wishing them all the best. We're gonna be throwing it off for a bit while we get on some technical stuff, but don't go anywhere. We have round 5 coming of the Cascadia 2026 America's
See you
Continentals. We'll
soon.
be back in a bit. Welcome back to the 2026 Cascadia America Continentals. My name is Andre from the Metropole Grid. I'm joined by from a friend from all across the Americas. Chinchling, how's it going?
I am doing fantastic.
Do you introduce yourself as like world's top 16 Chinchling, or is that just like a nice way for me to insert that for your ego's sake?
Um, you can call me top 8 if you want. Like, I'm fine with that.
Oh, kept going. Yes, and
Um,
well, welcome back. This is Cascadia 2026. I think now we're like 5 years of Cascadia tradition, and it is an absolute event to be going to. That's for sure. We have about 90 players in person here at the Mock Sporting House in Bellevue, Seattle. Now, I believe in Washington, and we're about like halfway through the Swiss rounds. Now we're gonna have 8 rounds. Today, this is round 5. We currently still have, I think, 5 players undefeated, and we've had the pleasure to see more than half of them, 3 of them already on camera so far. But it's still a long day ahead of us, and I'd be really surprised if we have a totally undefeated player after all the dust settles. But we'll see which 2 players are going to be showing up at the table today. It is also, notably, the 2608 meta. Chenchling, what do you think about the 2608? What did you expect to see here, and how much Reality Plus are we not seeing today?
I miss Melies already. Um,
There's dozens of us.
but no, honestly, like R plus is, I'm. It's still a strong ID, but in a vacuum, I just don't know what the deck does at the moment. So I'm kind of not surprised not to see it, or not to see a whole lot of it so far, because I don't think anyone's really figured out what to do. Like, the
Yeah.
ice isn't good enough to build a remote, and if you're going assets, then we already have an asset heavy ID um in Epiphany, which is doing quite well. So where R plus fits into all that, I don't really know.
Yeah, I think it's going to take some time for people to figure it out. And like, I think you specifically need to find a very rude list as opposed to a list that just, does something similar to other decks. So
Hmm.
we'll figure out where that goes. It looks like we have 2 players up here on the camera again. We've had some technical difficulties. Again, streaming is difficult in like 17 different angles. So do bear with us. It looks like on the left we have V. They are, I can't tell what identity they're playing. It looks like there's a shaper there behind
Lat.
that shuffle. Oh, that
Uh,
nice.
and then we have on the right we have Leah, a Seattle, maybe not Seattle, but a Seattle area, Cascadia area local, who has put up a lot of really good finishes
Yes,
lately.
in fact, Leah did win Cascadia just last year, and there's a
Yeah.
promo with her face on it. Shout out also if you want to watch Leah. Great player, does streaming on Leah Dahlia. You can find on YouTube at least, maybe Twitch as well, but does do some regularly weekly streams alongside some Scrubs players usually. I believe she is on Op, is my guess. A 3 card install. We'll see where that goes, but I think that's what that alter ID is.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Leah is on Ob, yes. So we have
Perfect.
Ob versus Lat here. It's a very fancy, nice ID, but hard to make out a dark ID with very faint text on a darkish board.
Now the hand dump here from Leah is pretty important into Lat. Lat says when you end your turn, if both players are the same hand size, you get a free draw for the runner. So it's not uncommon for just put cards on the table. Now Shaper can be good at dealing with assets. Usually you need a couple tech pieces, so like you need a
And there's the
Hannah,
tech
you
piece
probably want to
right there.
Azamat. Yeah, and the Hannah's so good here to quickly check these things. Shout out to V playing with some old. Those are click counters, are really old. Those are from the 2016 FFG Netrunner Nationals top 16 prize support. So might have been playing for a while if not picked that off. And Mavirus here is going to get that pop here. Leah dropping down on a few credits, but we'll see what 2 coster we get and how many clicks we have to contest it. If it is just a regolith or whether we get a descent or a nice little piece of ice.
I would not be surprised to see Ice here protecting a server. Yeah, and then just a nice Kesselroyd protecting one of these 3 servers that was created.
We see in V's hand has actually a pair of rollerblades, so they are looking like they're dealing with the AUCO matchup, in which is you're
Hmm.
expecting to take the most amount of damage or on a counter text. I don't think in this matchup it's going to matter that much. Maybe Anvil is the one when encountered ice we've seen today in op, and we've seen actually a fair
Hmm.
bit of it. So I don't know if that's going to hit the table with any sort of priority.
Yeah, and we haven't seen it this morning, I don't think, but Oko is actually the
It's here.
second most popular deck here at Cascadia with 12 players on it. So teching for it is not a bad idea.
Self-modifying code going to hit the other side of the table, and I don't think V gets the lat draw here. 2 card installs, and we played a sure gamble, so maybe. But the Svi, gonna get res, recently unbanned, has been in the standard format for about, I want to say 36 hours, has been showing off its power. Gonna trash that Kessleroid, go get a one coster, could be a humanoid, while also giving 3 credits. So it's not common you see tempo positive assets on the turn they're resed, and this is that plus plus.
Yeah. It looks like we're just getting a tithe, just replacing the ice with another ice. Mostly just probably for the money. You know,
Yep.
having it. Can't complain about a drip of 3 credits if you're
We'll
not
see what is
really caring too much about it.
Yeah, what's behind that server is interesting. Like that tithe could have also gone in front of the C, and I think protecting the C is kind of important. Maybe the lat's gonna go crack with that overclock to go get a Azimuth, but Regolith is another card you have to deal with. So this is two things on the table that both require attention. If you don't deal with the Regolith, it does become another one coster at instant speed. And even if you want to, you can just get rid of the Regolith with your Svi and just get 3 credits clicklessly. Let alone you still get the op text.
Yeah. I also very much appreciate V's support penguin there, uh, helping them make all of the proper decisions.
Yeah, the support penguin is probably quite powerful, honestly.
Yeah.
Thinking
Uh,
through this again, the hand has some. It looks like a couple clunky cards. I can't tell what that is. Oh, there we have the overclock. That's perfect.
yeah.
Now this doesn't
What you
allow
want
you
to
to use the
see.
Hana run, but we can use this either to get a breaker, but we might just go be grabbing Azimut as fast as possible to deal with that. You can also just trash this thing and just waste a credit on it. It's still a pretty good click compressed run, but it looks like we'll do the SMC trick and probably get the Azimut. And then you can also use those Azimut credits and not waste any of them and run through the tithe and just take the damage.
Yeah. Although I think it looks like they're going after the Svigator here, not the Regolith, which
Yeah,
makes
I think
sense.
you do
It's
the one
free.
two, right? Because like you bring the Azimuth for 3, you use 2 credits on the overclock, and then you can use those credits, and then you can technically still go to the Regolith if you want to.
Maybe.
Because you
It
use the
doesn't.
Hana, right?
No, you can't. Oh, well, you could use the Hannah, yeah,
Yeah.
to get the second one.
So we'll see what
Um,
Short Pressure V puts on here. But we got full value from that overclock, which is really quite nice to get the Azimuth and also use all of the overclock credits.
yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends how much you care about things in your hand, but you could also just
Play Air
uh
Blades, dodge the
yeah, play
damage.
the airplane
Woohoo!
to get through. But
Instead of Telework is going to come down again. It's also a consideration on lat cards in hand. I do think Leah's
yeah,
holding a full grip of 5.
yeah, so that was lat draw that we saw there.
All right, so Leah has the Regolith. She can definitely crank that a couple times and go get a one coster. We'll see what that tempo one coster is. Otherwise, the Hannah was not used, and unfortunately, jamming something important behind the tithe is it's obviously doesn't end the run. So we'll
Mhm.
see if we can just push something that matters enough to force the runner through that tithe over and over again. And we can't really tell what sort of deck Leah's playing. We've seen a lot of different ops. I don't think we've seen the same sort of op game twice so far across like the 4 rounds we've seen today. We've
Mhm.
definitely seen a fair bit of op. But the question is like we've seen ones that are doing damage bursts. We've seen ones that are doing reduced service red room like defensive combo chains. We've seen ones that are just jamming on tempo. Some of them have measured, some don't. So finding out if Leah's like pulling full assets with hostile, that's gonna be a big difference on how good this Azamat and how good this Hannah will be in the matchup.
And it's almost like identities that allow you to play multiple different kind of styles within them are actually good things for the game.
Yeah, whatever. You're talking about Lat, right? You're talking about Lat, I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
oh, of course, yeah. I played Swift Lat. That was a great deck.
Yeah, Lee's thinking through this turn. We do have access to op for sure. You also have to ask your opponent, and we can't tell from the camera, like how big is your op deck? And that question can lead you to some information. It does look like it might just be the regular 49 or the more conventional 49, let's say.
Hmm.
But bigger op decks do exist in the format for sure. I think with Svi, you kind of want to go thinner, but maybe that's not always the case.
Sometimes you just throw it in as another 3 cards that give you value. You know,
Yeah.
if you're building a big ob deck, you might as well put in good cards. Those are good cards. Uh, but I don't think we're. This probably is not the 70 plus really big ob that was playing uh, uh, the White Blade card. That
Yeah,
kept
Mad, the
yeah
neutrally.
mad, but uh, I think that style's fallen a little bit out of favor. I would
Yeah,
say
there's
it
still
never
like
really
big
was in favor, but
Yeah, we've seen some good Mega City results with that sort of big op list. I'm not sure if Leah has been playing it. Definitely thinking through this turn. This one is I think she definitely needs to decide here. Her hand looks a bit awkward. We do see agendas in there. Now you're not expecting too much HQ pressure. I do think V's list too is like you're trying to unwrap what you're expecting to play around. Spin Doctor is going to be the start here to get more options.
Hmm.
But like telework is not super common. I mean, I'm not expecting a Julie Moreira, but we do have the board
Ah,
state for it.
this is a FUT deck.
There we go. So this is really good with the SDF scores from hand. I do think V has a couple things that they can consider trashing. Like if you think this is a foot deck, they're usually on slash and some fast events, just because the
Hmm.
SDFs are really good on tempo. Which means
Yeah,
if slash and burn is a consideration, you actually do want to contest the spin doctor sooner than later. And with the hand and the azimuth, that's really easy. So I think we're going to quickly deal with the spin doctor, take it down for the azimuth credits.
yeah,
You are now a bit careful. This FUT is for influence, but it does mean anything scored, even if it's just like a green mail from hand, will ping cards out of Lat's grip.
yeah. No, this is for me, I would definitely consider spending the clicks to start running HQ a bit more. Because if a FUT's being rezzed, that's telling me that there's probably like getting ready to score some agendas, which means there's either agendas or tools to score agendas in hand, and I want to know which.
And we
But
see a
we
console Onicom is actually gonna be really important, and that also insinuates that
fantastic in
we're
this
on
matchup.
when the incidental damage, but it insinuates that we're on multiple pinholes probably just because you want to play enough events. So we'll see if he just contests this or waits to find the card that can chase the FUT out. Unfortunately, Airblades doesn't work against like FUT damage unless it's from you stealing because it only prevents damage during a run. So we'll see if the damage threat just puts you off lat and takes you like wants you to not touch centrals. I think we have a stone chip in hand. Like we have so much. Oh no, that might just be another telework. Excuse me. So we used our Hannah, we used our Azimuth. Our Onicom hasn't fired yet. That will give you a card draw whenever a card is trash. An event, excuse me, is trash. So that's either when it resolves or when it's hit by damage. So I'm
It's like
assuming that's a
daily
daily
cast.
cast.
Daily cast, yeah.
The money here is not phenomenal. I think we're actually at only 5 credits. Those are again very old school. Those were
Yeah.
prize support, I think. Those old credits.
Yep. Reason. Also interesting, Sokka uses these credits as well, I believe. This is
Yeah, they're
his preferred credit style. So they're out there. Okay, we do see the slash and burn being used to score a 3-2 Azef. Azef it is.
and this is really good because you can trash the tithe now to get another spin doctor, and this is what op can do. It can make you very aggressive. Instead, it looks like
What
Leah's going to be trashing the 2 coster to go get a 1 coster. So we'll see if that's just ice on
powers that
archives.
be?
Oh,
Oh,
that brings the
powers that
spin
being
back.
triggered. Oh, that's sick.
Oh, that's so good. So powers for influence. So that's going to bring back a 0 coster. Sorry, it's going to bring a spin doctor back. And very importantly, Azef has an additional cost to score it. So any card that can see the Azef gets pulled in, gets to see the score. So this will bring back the spin doctor.
Yeah.
Very cool line. And this is where the FUT now can start to snowball. This will be 4 damage from hand. Now this will probably fire the Onicon. We did lose a pressure spike, if I'm not mistaken, alongside those rollerblades.
And Nuka and the other uh, telework, it looks like.
Yeah. So now powers that can install anything from HQ or archives. And the spin doctor did go down cheaply, but this is where you're stuck in a weird position. You definitely need to be drawing constantly. Also, we didn't hit a single operation, so Onicum hasn't triggered, or excuse me, event, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not an event.
Now FUD is still charging up, saying if you touch centrals, you can't just take 2 damage out of nowhere. Azamat will recharge. This is quite a tricky board state. The question is whether Leah is going to keep just threatening it over and over again with the slash and burn, or starting to build a remote server.
Hmm. Yeah, and all of that worked because the agenda wasn't technically scored at the time that the trash was used to bring the powers that be in, which is
Ooh,
one of those really weird interactions here. But we see a pinhole come through.
this is such
Leah's
an
saying,
interesting
"Please
pinhole.
wait."
I think Leah stopped V because one of the things that you want to do with the pinhole is you actually need to make your opponent uncomfortable because this actually is doing a 2-for-1. It's contesting both the spin doctor, but it's also contesting the FUT. Leah looks like she
Leah
did not
calling the
pop the
bluff,
spin. Yeah.
just saying, "Nope. If you want to go steal that and take 2 damage, you're welcome to do so."
Now this
Uh,
replaces itself, but V can now just run archives and take 2 points. There's nothing stopping this.
well, the spin doctor's still there.
Oh my god, yeah,
The
it's still there, right?
Yeah, no, that was the fork. It's you
Yeah.
trust the spin doctor so you can pick up the agenda, but then you're going to take the 2 damage from Fut, or you trash the Fut, but the spin doctor's still there to shuffle back the agenda and probably Fut again. So an interesting choice. And trashing Fut probably correct, but that spin doctor has to get used at some point, and this way you get the other one off the table anyway.
Yeah, the Hannah can be used on this turn. Again, the powers is only something that matters if you think you're going to be losing points. I think the Hannah might have been used on spin here. If not, we're running archives, but the remotes run is a bit cheaper on actually not spending clicks. We have a
Mhm,
Teleric, we have a daily casts. I think our hand here has a couple operations. We have a creative commission, but there's actually a lot of turns where you don't want to play two operations, or excuse me, events in a single turn because of the Onicom. But we might just barely have the liquidity we can get by of holding that till the next turn.
mhm.
Shuffled back again. 2 points back in the deck. We're one spin doctor out. 2 points up for Leah. And we've dealt with most of the threats on the table. The powers is still pretty relevant. And you could just tank. Again, the tide doesn't stop it. But the powers is something that now with no spin doctors in the bin, you're a bit less scared about this. You do watch out though, as if you ever go down to a few cards in hand, you can still do the thing where you score an Azia from hand, use powers to get a FUT, and FUT will actually well, it won't see the text. So you're fine. It'll just be on the table though.
But Fut still does.
If you grab it
Yeah,
with
'cause
powers,
Fut
it won't,
win
yeah, it won't
scored.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
Leah's
um,
pushing.
yeah, we see reinstalls into that remote with that ice, and we don't know what that ice is. I don't think it hasn't been challenged, and it's not something that we saw from Ob, so it could be anything at this point. With 9 credits, anything could be res. If I had to guess, it's an Event Horizon, but who knows?
Sure Gamble is going to tap forward on the Onicom, drawing a card.
Yeah.
Hannon's a bit scary to face check into an ice because if the run is ended, you end up taking a tag, which with the daily cast might matter. Leah's not on an absurd amount of money. She's on 9 credits. That's like good enough for her to do most of the stuff that she wants to do here. But you're expecting this just to be like an end the run barrier. We're going to keep drawing through a deck again. I'm assuming this is a deep dive deck, and the centrals are wide open, but V probably needs to touch a lot of points before deep dive is actually lethal.
Hmm. This might
Three card.
even be on because we have FUT, we might even see Let Them Dream in this deck, which is a nightmare
Yeah,
for deep dives.
it's a weird card with Awe because like you shuffle your deck so much that bottoming doesn't matter, but just like lowering your agenda density by 3 points is pretty substantial. Looks like it's gonna be a Mavirus Purge on V's turn, so Leah can go grab a two-coster. We'll
Hollow
see
Man
what.
would be my guess.
Yeah, that could score out a even. Well, I mean, you bankrupt yourself. You could score out pretty
Yep, yep.
aggressively here and still get a card back with powers. Just a
Okay.
regular. Looks like maybe a new remote server. So we'll see if we ice that up or just empty of as much of that as we think is relevant. As much as hand and the Azimuth were not used this last turn.
Hmm. Yeah, all these recursion cards are just like you need to get rid of them. You can't let them stay there and keep providing, the threat of value, bringing back the stuff that you've trashed. But you never really want to take the time to actually go do it and spend the money to go do it.
I mean, this is the thing we've consistently seen out of op games so far today is like the op deck is the one that is demanding answers out of the runner, right? Like sometimes you get board states where the runner's in control and the corporation plays, defensively and has to respond. But this for the like every turn we've seen so far, Leah is saying this is something you have to deal with. And then the question is whether V does it or does not, and then how bad are things.
Hmm.
So interesting to see when that changes. We did see our first ice on centrals, and like once V has a couple points, they can do the deep dive, and that will be something that Leah has to respond to.
Yeah, but
Now, two upgrades maybe could still be assets or agendas in that server, but we'll see the fermenter coming down. Hard sometimes to depend on this for your economy with as many viruses as op lists can play. But we'll
hmm
see if we're going to use the Hannah or the Azamat at a minimum to challenge the Regolith.
yeah, I'm surprised that Leah did not ice the Regolith and chose to ice HQ instead, because it feels like it's a very easy, like, 1 credit clickless trash to go and get it, and deny 9 credits of value. Um, but she must have had a good reason for icing HQ. Only 3 cards in hand. Maybe there's a handful of agendas. Maybe another slash and burn or something.
Hard to tell. I
Okay,
think we're
that
charging.
is
That's why.
that is a city grid.
Is
Um,
that Makota?
that's a Makota Langet grid that's being used
Cool.
to res a hostile infrastructure.
So the hostile infrastructure now is like 7 to trash and has really gross text. Now the first installed card that's trashed is going to be 2 meat damage. So that's why we didn't have to go for the Regolith play here. And this sort of thing like tempos, where like it protects itself. Where now like the recursion card in the Tithe server is protected. That is, again, more damage. And all of these things now can bring Fut back if you score from hand. And then Fut does damage. Or if you trash Fut, it does damage. This is a very, very scary board state. And now the thing with the Makota as well, as much as the credits got used, is now on the next turn, if you try and contest that server, the Makota reses the ice cheaper too. So it's like this compounding defensive cycle.
Yeah, this is nice synergy, as they say. So as I just poke R&D, see a single.
V kind of laughing, going for a single, finding the third Regolith on the top, trashing with the Azamat. Now sometimes you don't want to do that because Leah might not be excited to draw that. It's going to see something else here, but let's see if we go back.
No,
Just an SMC on the table. We are at 5 MU. We're full up. Cards in hand. I don't think we get the lat draw.
yeah, immediately just emptying that out, or emptying the regolith out, get 9, get back in the money, and we see another fut come out. Uh,
Woof.
turn.
It's gonna be damaged no matter what. And Leah like might be at the point where like you could just slash and burn from hand. The powers
Mhm.
that be, like if it's an AZF, you can just trash the tithe to get a zero coster, which is a spin doctor. And then
Yeah,
obviously the thing in archives is safe, and the powers already has a protective aura. Like it is, we're building a lock of sorts. And V, if V's on deep dive, right? Like it's you can even run centrals and lose that now if you hit an agenda on the way with FUD.
hmm yeah. So now we're, lamenting the loss of those air blades probably. Um, you kind of have to wonder if at some point you just kind of bite the bullet and go trash things.
Yeah, it's really funny how AUCO build this matchup is with the airblades. Winchester res for 4. Now we can trace. Lat does have link. If you do know what the trace mechanic is, raise your hand in chat. All the boomers with their hands up in the sky. But SMC is going to crack here. I don't know what we're grabbing. I think revolver is probably the thing that makes the most
Yeah,
sense because echelon here, the math is not particularly compelling.
yeah, no, this makes sense. 2 credits, 2 to 3 shots, you're in.
Yeah, I think we have
But
to 3-shot this. I don't think this is a deep dive play. And while Leah has 4 cards in hand, again, if this is an agenda, this can be 2 cards from hand, no problem, off the FUT.
I'd be tempted to probably spend. I would spend 2 and then say trace me on the weakest trace, but um, money's tight, so plenty of bullets fine. Seen Let Them Dream? I think that's a Let Them Dream.
That is a
Uh,
promo from this. No, this is from Vancouver, I think. That is a Let Them Dream, I'm pretty sure. So that's only 1 point, but that's gonna be 2 damage off the FUT counter. I think that was a
Direct.
promo from Vancouver Megacities.
Okay, so we see the echelon and a direct access. But direct access theoretically could have done something in this match. It keeps Stavka Hafren from, or the yeah, firing the Stavka Hafren combo because you can't use your ability. Oh, and
Yeah.
then getting another one off the top.
Ooh, Greenmail.
Seeing
Again,
the
we
green
are on small
mails.
agendas. The Greenmail score off the top for Leo would have been so good. Firing FUT, firing
Yeah.
powers. Like that is really a good rip from the top of the
Then
deck.
we see the archives run and a deep dive. Only going
I'm
to be
going,
able to
Hannah.
access one card here.
I
But
don't
no,
think
it
this
can
deck
have
has
2 pop.
pointers.
So
With Let Them Dream, you're so safe against deep dive usually. So
1, 2,
at worst, you
3,
walk away
4,
with 4
5,
points.
6, 7, 8. There is a slash and burn in there. But that's the only one.
I mean, that's still a
So
good turn. We started on 0. We're now on 5 points. Leah has to be worried about the next deep dive. That
4,
was.
I think.
Oh, you're right. 4-4. Excuse me. Yeah.
Let
Two
them
one one.
dream is
Yeah.
totally reasonable as an agenda.
It's got good text. Now, this does shuffle the top of the deck. So Leah
Yeah.
will be drawing an unknown card. Again, we've seen the green mails. I don't know how many you can slot into this list. And a slash and burn, one of them is out as well. And that is a very big thing when it comes to Leah's reach with scoring 2 point agendas. But we have the FUT. We have so many of these things that can like really push Leah forward. And even just like firing powers that be to get ice from hand or from even archives if there's any on centrals is like very,
Mhm.
very impactful. We're also
Now
on threat 4.
Yep.
which there's good credits on both sides of the table. I do think V has about 11. The thing of the cards in hand with Fut, or sorry, with Lat also can line up there. So like Leah can do some wild plays too. Sometimes where you can score out a ZF and then still have a click to play a measured, and that's usually a very lethal line with Fut.
Hmm. But I think with this amount of credits, V isn't really worried about a single measured. Uh, Double measured maybe. Triple measured is highly unlikely. I do see an Azef there in Leah's hand too, and it looks like we're going for it. Maybe. Okay. So we know that
We're building a server.
the that was the Azef that's installed in that remote, but V doesn't. So we see if this is contested here.
No, we haven't seen a single propeller. We've seen an SMC, no simulchip, and Echelon got knocked out. So the question is, what is this card in the remote server and how safe it is? No matter what, if you take it, you're going to take 2 damage. The credits are still pretty good when it comes to like the threat of measured from this point forward, and the simulchip gives us access to a lot of different things. So like you could crack the fermenter here and just charge. Instead, we're going
Mhm.
R&D though for single off the top of the Navshar.
Yeah, because you can easily get back the SMC, and you have plenty of money. So I guess the question is it worth it to charge this?
I mean, I couldn't tell you what this is, right? Like Leah needs to score an agenda. So like putting something on the table could matter, whether it's a hollow min. But this, I believe you said it's just an agenda, right?
Yeah, I think this is the Azef in the remote, if I saw the install correctly. But it looks like no, not gonna bother challenging it. Just gonna take some credits, try to get lat draw
Creative
just from
will
two
fire
three.
on a com. Now the big question is how many cards do you have in your hand? Because there is a board state in which this UZF actually does 5 damage. The thing is like Onacom will make that really safe, but if you play Vera and you play Fut and the UZF, that can do 5 damage. I think for Vera you just need to trash the Winchester if that's what Leah's doing, but that's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
influence. Leah looking through her archives gives her a good read on what's left in the deck here. We know there's an UZF. Again, the archives look is also probably pretty big when it comes to the powers that be, which if an agenda is scored, something does come back from there or the hand.
Yeah, yeah. Trying. This is this is the ob think tank. Just going in, trying to figure out, what are my lines here? Um, how can I pull this off? Looks like we are gonna score the Azef.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some intervention with the judge, but the Zeph is there. Let's see what we trash. So it looks like we're gonna go get a 0 cost from the deck. Could be an excavator, could get a spin doctor. Leah has to decide this here, and the spin doctor, of course, will draw cards, which even sometimes gives you more options for the powers if you want to install from hand. I think
Yeah.
the archives is like 3 regoliths, the tithe we just trashed. I don't know what's in there that's like killer, but like Leah obviously has a good line here that she's gonna pursue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, looking like a Spiegator.
Okay, 0 coster,
Just trying
recently
to
unbanned.
get more value, and then doing some damage from multiple sources here.
Yeah, it should be 2 into 2. So there's no extra damage off of this. I think the only other card in the format that could do damage here is Vera, but she's very expensive on influence. So Fermenter's going to go down.
So we
You
hit
want to
the
not
rigging.
fire Onacom, but sorry, the rigging up will fire it. So just cards in hand is really important here because if you want to trash stuff. But I do think V's just going to give up on the board and hit the table. Unity now in the bin?
Yep, Unity and a
Gamble.
Gamble. Which Unity in the bin isn't too bad. You have
No, it's
the
good.
symbol chip if you need it. It's
Yeah, it might
honestly
actually be good.
the worst place for corps to have or for shapers to have their programs is in their hand. You either
Now,
want it in
Mavirus.
your deck or archives. A virus
And then
being
Mavirus
brought back.
can be res the perch of fermenter, but V's credits, they're pretty good. I think they're on 17, as much as you do have to watch out for measured here. The problem is like V has to just like draw up unless the last card's a ritual or a nuka. And while Leah's on 4 points, I don't know if we expect the last points to be Myoshu or we expect the game to end off of like lethality off of a measured. But
It
like
looks like
FUD is still a problem. We still have 2 counters, or sorry, 2 net damage worth of counter.
and we are popping this just to get a Hollow Man to put on HQ.
Cool.
Maybe
Hmm.
Leah seems to be thinking about it.
Is that the yeah? The question is like, do you put this here? Or do you put it on the server with the hostel? Which like that ice is unknown, but it'll probably be res for cheap. It looks like HQ's good line, so that is a 2 credit break. The funny thing is like if you have agendas in hand, the FUD actually technically protects the hand as well because if you touch a card that's like gonna be 2 damage.
Yeah. Um.
First click draw for V, so not a ritual. Did not survive the hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if this V can do anything really clever here. Because the excavator could, of course, at instant speed get stuff. Oh, there's even a new server for the Holloman. But yeah, it looks like the Holloman will be on HQ.
Mm-hmm.
We ended with the creative, so that's going to get us up 4 credits and a card off the Onicom. I
Yeah.
don't know if we have lat match. It looks like we do have lat match. Pretty slick.
Yeah. V seems to be just relaxing, uh, rebuilding, surviving that one, and then building up for the next push. Whether that's running R&D a bunch, whether that's trying to build up for the next deep dive. Um, 4 points is almost there. Who knows if this ob is running 3 pointers?
It's
Most of
probably
them
not.
are, but if you're trying to do all of this fast advance with FUT, then maybe you're not.
Yeah, if you're on like the Let Them Dream and the hostels, I don't think you are. I think you're just on many twos and ones as you can. That means like if V wants to win off of a deep dive, they either need to steal one on the way in or get another click gainer. And we've seen the Hannah already. So the question is there's a Peach Champ. If Leah can get an event horizon on centrals, that will really slow down the deep dive play. So V might just need to send it for centrals. But at this point, Fut's gonna do 3 damage if it survives another turn.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting rid of the Makoto Langit grid, which I believe that is one of Men in the Moon's classic art versions from Cascadia last year.
Oh, that was off of the Svi, and I don't think we fired off of it. So just getting three
Yeah.
credits and saying that's better.
Yeah.
V did not run, so measured isn't a problem, but I do think V is sitting on like 21 credits and at least maybe 4 cards in hand, is my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're worried about dying right now. At least not immediately.
Now, if Leah has the last as yet from hand, that can do 4 damage. You can just score with a Holloman for 6 credits. Even above the law, it won't hit anything, but that will be at least, I mean, 2 damage, and all of these will fire the the powers. Double ice though, one of these probably is an event horizon and just says ice on R&D as well. So now V has to start spending credits, which is where things get quite interesting when it comes to
Yeah.
measured. Notably, the fermenter was like that kind of insurance economy, and it did get purged out at the worst possible time for the runner. So now it's getting its first counter.
Yeah. And this is technically threatening lethal from
It
Leah.
is. Yeah.
So we are seeing a burner get played on a two-hand size, which
Cool.
usually you want to put it on three, but okay. It's like sure, whatever.
So
Uh
these cards are just going to move away. One's a Maskarovka, the other is another hostile. So the question is whether they go on the top or the bottom. The problem is with Svi, like you can shuffle the deck no matter however if it survives. So it's not like a really
uh,
big deal where you put them.
we have a white space, it looks like.
Yeah, foil
Which
from the CBI. I think we're going for a deep dive here.
yeah, this has to be deep dive.
I just don't know if there's 5/3s in the list. V needs to find an agenda off the top here. Now, we could let the white space fire. Instead, we're going to be cycling the gun away, which had no more bullets left to get the unity. That breaks for only 1 credit because we do have the requisite 10 to not care about that sub.
Oh, but we see a steal.
Oh,
Suddenly
this is
this becomes a
huge.
lot worse.
But
But
the problem is like the FUD
but
can hit the deep dive.
ooh, let's see. This
Leah's
could be the choice here.
knows how close this can be here. There's 4 cards in hand if the deep dive's in here. It looks like it is a deep dive setup.
Ah, it does hit the deep dive on those 3 damage.
Now there could be one more in hand. I don't know if we're a triple deep dive deck
No.
there. No, it's
There
just
might
a
be one more in the deck, but
diamond in hand.
yeah.
Now you can go back. R&D costs you 1 credit. FUD has been turned off here. The issue is if you don't draw, you will die to a 3 damage as Yef. You're safe against measured, so you have to figure out how to drop a bit here. But the thing is like Antil at the top. Leah has no cards in hand, so like if you want to get, lat draw, it's both tricky and weird. Did we draw off the Onicom? I think we missed the Onicom draw,
Yeah, the Anacom did not get used there.
which actually could really matter because now V can die to just an Azyef on the table.
Ooh.
Leah's considering here. That means that she might not have it again. Well, she has no cards in hand. So what she can do here is she can top deck an SEF. I don't know if there's any one costers you can trash to get a spin doctor just to draw as many cards as possible. Like in theory, you could trash the FUT to get a spin doctor just to draw. Because with one card in hand, if you can find the SEF, you do have the Holloman on the table to score it out.
Yeah. The fact that this is not immediately scoring means that's not a 3-pointer in the remote there. If it was, Leo would probably not be going through the rigmarole here.
Yeah,
But we,
trying to figure out the line. Looks like we're gonna be selling the Winchester again with no cards in HQ. This gets us a 3-coster. Not sure what 3-coster you want here. Yeah, Mask Robka seems annoying enough. Looks like that is gonna be the mask outside the white space, keeping R&D safe. But the question is, what's in the remote server on top of the Holloman?
maybe another agenda at this point, or maybe a another upgrade or something.
If it's an
Yeah.
agenda, you win the game though. It does 2 damage, doesn't it?
Yeah. Looks like Leah found an agenda.
That should be game if that can get scored out here. But it
This
looks
is
like
a
it's
Zeph.
installed
Ah,
advance.
that is a Zeph. That is going to be game.
That is gonna be
Missing
4
missing the Enacam
damage.
draw here, coming in unfortunately clutch.
The Anakim
But
draw wouldn't have mattered, right? Because of FUD?
well, no, because they would have gotten to 2, and then there's a chance that
Oh,
either
there's
the
a
Azef
chance,
or the
yeah.
Putt hits another event and lets them live.
I mean, maybe there's a chance V got the Anakim drama off the burner. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a miss because
Oh,
it would have
maybe,
happened earlier.
yeah, maybe it was off the burner that they got the draw.
But well
Uh,
played. I mean, this
yeah,
sort of
that's
list
wild.
is really interesting, the amount of like pressure it puts on both cards in hand and fast advance. None of these servers are bulletproof, but they're always just like just strong enough and
Yeah,
forcing you in like odd directions that you can't deal with everything. But well played to both players. Leah's gonna take it. V there putting up quite a fight. Unfortunately, the let them dream text makes the fair bit harder to win off of the deep dive, and it had a chance of surviving. And honestly, V just needed, I think, one good agenda rip there off the centrals.
yeah, yeah. But it's always the question. Maybe it would have been correct to take the 2 damage and trash that Fut earlier so that you can go for the deep dive. But who knows? There's a lot of lines that you have to consider here, and going low on cards is always tricky against an ob that's trying to kill you.
Yeah, well played to both players. Also great to see them like laughing and smiling after a game.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have had the pleasure of playing both of these players, and they are both fantastic opponents, and just like honestly always just happy to be there, happy to be playing Netrunner, and that's what it's all about.
Well played to both players. Again, this is the end of round 5. We have 3 more rounds ahead of you today, 6, 7, and 8, and there'll be 2 more rounds of Swiss returning tomorrow to figure out what our top 16 is. On that note, that's the end of my commentary for today. My name is Andre from the Metropole Grid. Super excited to be here joining Cascadia remotely, sharing the mic earlier with Timmy and also changeling, of course, with you. But looks like we're going to be throwing to a break and we'll be back for 3 more exciting rounds. So
I
don't go
will
anywhere.
still be here, so I'll see you all when you get back.
Catch you on the other side.
the OBS screen, so it's yeah.
Yeah, it'll change over. We're
Oh,
live
okay,
in a few.
okay.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Cascadia 2026. This is the Null Signal American in-person Continentals. We are on day one of the Swiss. We are here in round six. My name is Zinchling Chris. I am Logic Bomb member out here in California, and today, for the next few rounds, we are going to be joined in commentary by Ruben Peters.
Hello,
Welcome to stream.
thank you.
We're happy to have you.
It's great. So I heard that there was like a lot of Lu and Up games so far. I haven't been able to watch the games that have been happening so far, but maybe we'll see some like different things, or I don't know what's kind of happening at the tables right now.
Yeah. So if we look at the Cobra, everything here is on tournaments.nullsignal.games. That is Cobra. We have uh, weirdly, did that get reset? That's weird. Something may have happened there. Um, but yeah, we are setting up for this next round. I believe the pairings have been made. We don't have players quite at the board yet, but we're getting there. Um, hmm,
Yeah,
gonna
it looks
go.
like the sorry.
I was gonna say, I think
It looks like
the
the standings kind of have been
Cobra
cleared
blow up.
already.
This is a cursed
Hopefully not.
day. Um, if it's not the stream blowing up, it's Cobra blowing up. That would be hopefully uh not something that happened. I'm sure it's fixable, but let's hope not. Let's hope it doesn't need fixing. Um, but yeah, no, we've seen some excellent games. We've had Alu win a game using the deep dive. We've had uh Ob win by scoring. We've had Ob win by killing. We've had uh big shaper decks. It's been a ride. Um, what have you been seeing as coming out of, I don't know, maybe you want to keep this a little more secret, but what have you been seeing coming out of your testing groups and stuff with this new meta?
um, I mean, Op is definitely, I think, I would say out of the two things that have been unbanned on the corp side, I would say Op is definitely the more like obviously stronger one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, R plus has like some interesting things to it, but is a little bit more either complicated to figure out or like not as obvious. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
Op like had like very strong decks that were known beforehand. You can't exactly make them the same way that they were before, but you can still get to something quite close. So I think it's like a more obvious, like, oh, we just go back to kind of roughly how this was before, how
Mm-hmm.
strong op decks were before. While with R plus you have a lot more to figure out. So I think that's also kind of what we see in the right here is that like I didn't see much R plus in the stats. The stats aren't available, but I think the most NBN was like Nebula.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
R
don't know.
plus.
Do we have any idea of like what the Nebula have been doing? Like, is it all like Moonpool fast advance, or is it like something different?
It looked like we saw one in round two. Whiteblade was playing a Nebula deck on stream, and it looked like it was mostly doing the Moonpool top-down solutions combos, trying to score king making, getting 3 points, getting the expanded hand size. Um, but unfortunately, that game ended due to a technical error, and too many cards were touched when doing damage.
Oh,
Um,
it's unfortunate.
but so we didn't really get to see the full extent of the deck. Um, but yeah, R plus is it's an odd duck right now. I think that there's a few cards that go well with it, and I don't know if anybody has been able to really make it work in a way that other MBN decks aren't currently doing better. And I don't know
Hmm.
if it's making anything that exists right now more viable.
Yeah, I think the thing is also that like NBN has lost quite a few very strong cards that kind of made R plus um, the way that it was. Like Amani is no longer there, although we do have kind of a replacement with Magistrates. Bellona is gone.
Mm-hmm.
The 3/1 Ares, AR Enhanced Security is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's hard to force it. Um, but yeah,
Someone in
and
the
then
chat is saying that I think that my mic is a bit quiet. I think on my side I have it turned up as much as I can.
okay, well, it
I don't know.
sounds like we are having some official technical difficulties, so we're gonna pause and throw you to the waiting screen while people in person try to figure this all out, and we'll be back in
Welcome and thank you for volunteering your time to the Symbian Consumer Marketing Focus Group. Your opinions are valuable to us and we want to know what they are. Tell us everything. 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 Tell us everything. 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 Thing.
Yes. So is the new Cobra entirely up to date now already, or?
That's a good question. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back, players. We have had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but it looks like we may actually be over the hump and ready to get the next round started. This is one of your two hosts today. My name is Chris. I go by Zinchling.
My name is Ruben Peters. I go by Ruben Peters.
Uh, perfectly simple. Best way of doing it. So it looks like after the minor setback that we had, we are ready to start round six in just a bit. Like players are still setting up, but it looks like we have three undefeated players going into round six. Ushkite, Cold Lava, and Wikinometry. Uh, Three different Waylands. We have a Bengen, an Ob, and a Nuveng, which is fascinating. And then a whole host of people down on 4 and 1, extending all the way down to 15th place. So a lot of games left to play in the tournament.
Yeah. And it seems like there's like a lot of Wayland and Jinteki. So somehow HB has like disappeared a little bit, apparently.
Yeah, I guess
Mm.
everybody kind of said, "Oh, well, I guess I can't do combo anymore. Let's go play this other stuff." But
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising to me, but
I mean, I think part of it is HB tends towards glaciery things, and I'm not convinced that it's good enough right now. We only have two LEOs and two Thule. Um, but mid-range, you know, it just feels like maybe Jinteki and Wayland do it better right now.
yeah, and even Jinteki is like it's mainly Ayuko. Like there are some RHs. So like the previously we had Melios, which kind of represent the big chunk of like Jinteki Glacier, but that has a lot of that has disappeared, and people have kind of picked up Ayuko again.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah, I think there's probably a couple people who are trying the RH Glacier, um, but I don't know how well they are doing in terms of actually making it into the standings. Oh, we got someone. Why not? Is in 10th. Is
Yeah, it
on
looks like.
RH. So
Wait, so why not played for Corp? Because it
we
looks like he has
yeah, we
12
can't
points on RH.
because we had to remake the tournament. I think we just kind of said this is because this is standings after one rounds. In the interest of getting everything done, they just said, "How many wins do you have?" We'll assign that to one side.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we can't see all of the previous standings, unfortunately, due to the computer malfunction. Um,
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate because it also means that like the stats in like Maker's Eye, for example, or like looking at the tournament stats will a bit be not very representative to how it actually was. But
yeah.
like I
Well,
understand that this is like the quickest way to resolve the situation.
yeah, I think we may just um try to put everything together at the end and adjust it. But for now, we're just gonna do what we can here to get this going because they got to get going. We got two rounds to get through in this limited amount of time. Uh, we are live with the match. On our left, we have Brain Chips Ahoy playing Moosely Hot. And on our right, we have Uskite playing Bangin. And Uskite currently is in first place in the tournament. So this is going to be an exciting match.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like we can see a little bit of the cards. Oh, there's a vulture fund in the Bangan. Because I was wondering whether it would be like there was like this deck played at the Little Mega City by NWE. I don't
Hmm.
know if that's picked up any steam, But I think I saw a Vulture Fund in the Bangoon deck, so it might be a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't truly mind giving bad publicity, at least not that much, because you kind of like things you stick in the remotes for them to run. It's uh really the bad publicity doesn't affect it. You're still putting it there just to give them tags and damage. So interesting to see how much bad publicity this deck might be playing.
Yeah, I guess the idea more is that like you expect to propel yourself forward more as a corp and
Yeah,
hope it won't, because like it does still hurt you. Like it's not like it doesn't do anything, the bad pub.
yeah, yeah, but it's
Um,
not like giving it to like an asset deck or something, or even a glaciary deck. It a lot of times banging decks don't seem to care too much about the runner money except for measured response.
mhm.
You know, because they want to be shoving stuff in the remote and making them, you know, pay in other ways. But you know, we'll see. Bad pub always has a cost.
Yes. Can't quite see the mostly had opening hand here.
Mhm. Looks like both players may have kept their opening hands. I think Corp mulliganed. But they look like they have a decent enough hand from what we can see here.
I think there's one measured in the Bangoon hand. I didn't catch the other stuff.
Hmm. I saw a measured, a hedge fund. Um, we'll see how it goes.
Seems like a decent start. Like
Yeah.
maybe one ice and then some agenda to put somewhere.
All right, and we
I
are
guess the main question is like, will Bangoon like ice HQ respect the transfer? Looks like a first click draw, or was that mandatory?
yeah, first look draw. See,
Ice hedge
finds the
fund.
ice and hedge fund. Seems good.
Was that Event Horizon, or I didn't quite see what it was?
Did not either.
Okay.
It's an ice. Hopefully it ends a run. And mostly hot whiffs on the beginning.
Or just a run HQ. Oh no, it was Funhouse. Okay.
Huh. Uh,
It's
Not an
so
ice you usually see in Bangoon, I don't think.
yeah, this makes me think that there's like end of the line stuff going on
Hmm.
because like the tags need to matter somehow, right?
Yeah.
It also doesn't really stop a transfer if the runner really wants to go tag me, but they probably won't.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
see draw and gamble, or there's a twinning at least in the Muslihat's hand.
Yeah.
Discarding overclock, I think.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised. I see a bravado in hand. I'm surprised they didn't just bravado into HQ just to check it.
Yeah,
Keep the
that's
money
true.
anyway.
Oh, a
Um,
second hedge fund on Bangun.
mhm.
Getting a lot of money right now. And just click for a credit. Carpe Diem is revealed. Seems like both players have a bit of a slow start, even though they kind of seemed like they were happy with their hands.
Mhm.
So Swift goes into play with the Carpe Diem plate. So
Mhm.
the Swift might point to there being maybe deep dive in this deck, I guess.
Uh, Deep dive. It could also, and maybe unlikely, but it could be a wild Jaichinho deck.
Mm,
It's
I,
possible.
it's possible. It's technically possible.
I don't know if you would play that if somebody was playing a Jaichinho deck at Continentals, like absolutely more power to them. That would be impressive. But yeah, I would probably more likely to see the deep dive out of this.
And Revolver coming down.
Yeah. I think at this point both players are just gonna set up and do what they can. Uh
Feels like, yeah, it feels like the Bangun is having a really slow start. Or maybe it's like not kind of Bangoon I'm kind of thinking of, like a
Mhm.
Vulture Fund and the government stuff. Like, what will Bangoon do with all this money?
Uh, Probably Mioshu if the
Yeah, it
runner
seems
lets one of the
agenda
agendas
circle.
go on the table,
Mm.
shouldn't be that hard to Mioshu.
I haven't seen it in the hand yet, but we there have been some cards around that we didn't see.
Hmm. The runner does pick up a bad publicity here, which may or may not be useful.
Could be useful with biobands to install something,
Hmm.
maybe a class act, but uh,
Yeah, we're seeing that bio being plans being played immediately, triggering Swift, getting the click back, drawing two, and hopefully installing something that costs three
or
or
the
more.
twinning.
Twinning for free seems good.
Hmm.
Oh, use your bad publicity.
Oh, he missed it.
He missed using the bad publicity and just paid one from the
The
credit pool. I've
unfortunate.
done that. I have done that so many times. And it's like, oh wait, no, I had this thing here. I could have used this.
I think there might have. Uh, is there a chess in hand or not? Maybe not. Clean
To get
getaway
away,
on.
going into no, no, just
But
paying the money for it,
okay.
getting the extra three that way. Knew that something was on top and didn't care, and just figured it's time to get money. But yeah, I feel like you know, criminal players doing criminal stuff, just building up, uh,
Yeah, just.
getting the resources, drawing cards, seeing what they have available, making money where they can.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
like the Bangun isn't really putting any pressure at the moment. Like there's not much going on that side.
Hmm.
Just making money.
That's kind of what you have to do as a criminal. Is just kind of like in this early game, just make the money. Just draw your cards, make your money, get get ready to get set up, and start being ready to put pressure on Corp.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I think a lot of the run events here are probably going to land because I don't see the Corp being likely to ice up all their central servers. That's one of the things with Mostly Hot in particular, but run-based crims is you always have to um, worry about just all of the everything getting shut
Hmm.
down and making it very hard for you to get your value runs.
Yeah, and the slower the start you have as a corp, the more difficult it becomes to like actually spend your clicks and your eyes, especially because it seems like the corp has like not enough eyes to do the things he wants to do. Oh, icing R&D now.
Hmm.
I think there was one Biowak in the hand. So I don't know if one of these might be Biowak, but the corp doesn't have any agenda scored yet. So
They do
they
have
do
14
have a lot of
credits.
money to like just but
I mean, I would with the revolver out there, hard resing a Biowak seems maybe not the best.
Mhm.
If that was like a shibboleth or something, I'd be more than likely to do it. But you know, paying
Yeah.
4 credits and 3 shots isn't really what I want to get value out of if I'm paying 14 credits to hard res a Biowak.
Doesn't seem like a worthy trade.
No. But we see just another clean getaway into archives. Just keep making money, making clicks. Um,
Oh, mutual favor. So like the runner is like set up really fast. Like he just wants to basically find Jasper to get the twin encounters and
mhm, yeah, or
sack cancel.
Touchstone or any of the other. A Mystic Mamie would be great.
Hmm.
Um,
True, yeah.
and any of the many sources of recurring credits that this deck can typically play. Um,
Yeah. With deep dive, like assuming that there's a deep dive in the deck with twinning, like you do have a little bit, you have two less influence, but that should still be enough for like one touchstone, one maybe, or maybe two maybe.
yeah, Yeah, because you're not usually, unlike uh a lot of crims, you're not spending influence on breakers here. Like you don't need the Rising Tide, you don't need Unity, you don't need Echelon.
Mhm.
So that influence does go a little bit farther. Um,
Ooh, we see the above the last shown. This is one of the agendas that I would consider putting face down, but because like the on score effect is really strong.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like as a
Um,
runner, if you see this, like you're set up, you're gonna take
yeah.
some damage, but you have to go get this because you can't afford to lose your twinning. So I guess maybe we could look at I think maybe a worst case might be like an enemy into Angelique or something like that. Could potentially do, up to like 5, maybe 6 damage. Um
Hmm.
that would be kind of like a worst case scenario for the runner. Um
Yeah, the upgrade makes it more because the fact that it's like Vulture Funds Funhouse makes me think it's indeed like more regular,
mhm.
like Angelique upgrades or
Okay, going for a transfer here
yeah, that's
and taking a tag and paying some bad publicity money to break it. So, well, I guess maybe if you go tag me, um, you don't really care about your tuning being trashed. So it's technically a thing. Um, but that feels,
it feels risky because the Funhouse just screams like I have end of the lines. Oh, this is
yeah,
Retribution or what is it?
yeah, that's a retribution. Okay,
Hmm.
so you really can't go tag me. But now you have two tags because you took one from the transfer and you took one from the fun house.
Yeah, I
So
think the runner won't contest above the law then,
yeah,
is my feeling. Oh no, okay. So the runner has three cards in hand, or how many? Or it was the something drawn with Muslihat?
I think mostly have to draw. There's the hard res Biowak. Look at that. That transfer did come in appropriate, I guess. But yeah, like I said, 4 credits, which is 3 real ones and a bad publicity and 3 shots. Like
It's a
the
good deal
corp,
for the runner, I would say.
the corp has to be very confident in what they're doing here to make that
Oh, it's a
effort.
maze.
Okay, it is tag hell. So we are gonna see 4 tags.
That's a lot of tags. Wait, even more, right? It's two from a maze and one from the
Oh
above the
yeah,
law.
5 because of the ID. Okay. Well, I guess you probably go tag me as the runner here and just try to not die. Good luck.
I don't
um,
think th there were two end of the lines in the hand, right? But
I
but
haven't seen any, but Corp is
but
also on 4 credits, so not
uh, we
super
did see
easy to do double.
we did see the retribution, so I guess we'll see what which knight will choose to. Oh, that's a reprise gone. That's unfortunate.
Oh, that reprise would have been nice. Uh, don't forget your bravado credits; those are important. But yeah, 5 tags is a lot of tags. With one card in hand, it looks like maybe 2 clicks left. So you couldn't even draw up to survive a
End of the line.
single end of the line at this point.
Oh, that's another reprise.
That's wild. But yeah, you get rid of. Honestly, why? I don't think you bounce that. I think you just take more tags. You bounce the Biowalk or something. You bounce the R&D ice, honestly, and then probably go try to find points on R&D.
Mm.
Because if you have 5 tags at this point, you're not clearing them, right?
I think you can bounce the Biowak and just run R&D, but yeah.
I mean, at this point, bouncing the Biowalk is for show, but yeah. Okay,
Well,
actually starting to clear tags. See
oh,
if it
pivot end of
matters.
the line.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah,
I
the
assume that's an alt
runner.
art.
Yeah, runner was gambling there on not having the value or the ability to get out, but unfortunately, it looks like Corp is going to walk away with this win, a flatline of the runner.
Yep.
Yeah, turns
GG.
out tag heck decks are real.
I think, yeah, I would have the contesting of the above the law was like very, there was a lot of risk involved, definitely,
Yeah,
because even if it wasn't in a maze, um, you would have went down on cards. I guess you would have still had like 3 tags, right? So you would still end up with 1 tag because you can only clear 2.
yeah. Well, so you
Oh
would have.
no, actually you have a swift click
Yeah,
actually.
you have the swift
Mm,
click. So I
okay.
think honestly the transfer there was just too greedy if you were going to contest the remote.
Mm,
Um, so if you don't transfer, if you just click one and play Bravado into the remote, you still get in, you still take 3 tags, but then you have 4 clicks and a bunch of money to clear it. Um, and you live another day, I guess. I
mm,
think, on 20 something credits, taking 3 from the corp is not a huge swing. And having to take 2 tags in order to do that, in order to get your 6, you know, like one or the other, the runner might have gotten away with it. Doing both was turned out to be too greedy,
yeah,
and
indeed.
they had to pay for it. So rough
Yeah,
game, but
sometimes you take risks and you kind of get rewarded for it by not getting punished, but sometimes these kind of things happen.
mhm. But yeah, so that was round 6 of uh Cascadia 2026, the American in-person Continentals, despite what the label says underneath stream. I have been Zinchling. It's been my pleasure to commentate. I have with me Ruben Peters, and
Yeah, I would just want to say it's also been a pleasure so far, even though the game was relatively short, but still interesting.
yeah. So we will see you next round.
Nations.
All right, we are back. Welcome back to Cascadia 2026 Day 1, which is American in-person Continentals being held in Bellevue, Seattle. Our commentators today are not in Bellevue, Seattle. We are all over the place. My name is Zine Schleen. I'm coming to you live from the Bay Area.
And I am Ruben Peters, coming you live from Belgium in Europe. It is currently 2:30 a.m. for me right now.
Yes, we very much appreciate you sacrificing your productivity of tomorrow to stay up with us tonight to continue doing the commentating. Uh, we have round 7 coming up because of the snafu. This is going to be the last round of today. We're moving round 8 into tomorrow morning. You will have a new set of commentators with you for that, but we will be ready to go very shortly. And while we wait, let's take a look at the standings. We currently have 3 people who are undefeated after 6 rounds: Uskite, Cold Lava, and Wikinometry. Um, all 3 fantastic players.
And all
Uh,
3 on different Wayland identities.
yeah, we have Bangin, Ob, and Nuvang. Wiki being on Nuvang representing, I have a soft spot for Nuvang. It was one of the decks that I did very well with in the past year. Um, I don't know if it's still really good anymore, so I'm very curious to see Wiki's list if she makes it to the top cut and it gets posted.
I mean, yeah, there have been some like recent Nuvem lists that are quite decent, I would say. You're definitely able to beat a lot of players with it if you've practiced it a bit.
Mm. Yeah, the rush style of it is very good, but it fades in and out of viability depending on what other decks are in the meta and what the runners are doing to counter those decks. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you really need to beat Rush, Shaper can probably do it. So if the meta's all Shaper, it might be a little harder. Um, or if it's all Ice Destruction, it's probably a little harder.
I think Nuvem and Ice Destruction are a bit of a. I wouldn't say one is like a clear favorite in the
Mm-hmm.
matchup. Because Nuvem does also have a lot of tools, especially if you're on, like, for example, 3 reanimation protocol.
Mm-hmm.
To like restore some of your eyes, you have a bit of flexibility with how you use your Nuvem ability, on like whether you decide to not trash ice to keep it around, for example, with your Nuvem ability.
Yeah.
So I think it's not as one-sided as maybe, because some players also think like the opposite, like where
Mm-hmm.
people are like, oh, Nuvem has like a lot of ice, so it can lock out ice destruction. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a little bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah. So looking at the standings again, we have the top 3 players with 18 points. The next 4 have 15 points, going X and 1. And then we have a large number of people on 12 points, going all the way down from 8th to 30th place. So, fortunately, there are after this. So we'll see how everything shakes out and how many points. But we have players who are ready to go. On the left, playing Corp, playing Oko, we have Riel, and on the right with our favorite virtual assistant, Perhelion, or Perihelion. Apologies.
Yep. By the way, is the top cut is top 16 or
Top 8.
how much? Oh, top 8, really?
I believe
Okay.
this is a top 8 cut. So 10 rounds of Swiss followed by a cut to top 8.
Okay, that's very, very cutthroat top cut, because there are.
I'll double check that though. I might be wrong because this is a big enough thing,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't want to give people bad information. So you do.
In the meantime, you see the players setting up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I know there.
think like sorry.
I was gonna say I know there are top 16 prizes.
Mhm.
So it probably is a cut to top 16 then. So a little bit more breathing room, shall we say?
Yeah, I don't. Well, the thing is, I think for Continentals, there have just because there's top 16 pricing doesn't mean the top cut is actually top 16.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember last year one of the APAC online Continentals, for example. I think I made top 16 in one of them, but I wasn't in the top cut because the top cut was only top 8.
That's very rude.
Yeah. But that one was only maybe 40 or 50 players. So this has a lot more players. So I would be a little bit surprised if this in top 16. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a bit of the corpse hand. I think they started their first turn, right? Yeah. So a draw, Ice HQ, I think. I think that's... Are those tights in the corpse hand? Or is it hedge fund?
Hard to say. Can't quite make it out.
I'm not sure if there's like any kind of Oppo tagging Alco still around. Oh, we see great start from the Crim player. I assume there was like a credit taken at some point, so credit, DreamNet, clean getaway.
Mm-hmm.
DreamNet is always a great start.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest reasons to play Vic at the moment is being able to use DreamNet to its full ability. Players
Yeah,
playing
like the cards in
high.
the middle kind of looks like a full art tide to me, but I haven't seen full art tides before, so that's something that confuses me. But
Mm.
maybe it's something else.
Yeah, I think I see a couple agendas in Corpse Hand right now. I think one of those looks like a Let Them Dream. One of them's a Fuji.
Oh, maybe, yeah, it could be Let Them Dream, it makes sense. We see a very defensive setup, like stopping the DreamNet value.
Yeah. Makes sense if, you for criminals, you just want to shut down their easy runs as soon as possible. Now, every single one of those ice isn't an enemy in addition to whatever it might be because that's what the runner has to think about it.
Mm-hmm. It does feel like, so as Ayuko, you kind of do want to have like fat or cohort kind of setting up.
And like I said, every single ice is an enemy. We run into one now and it hits some good cards.
So do you check out here? I think you... no, you have DreamNet, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Unless there's like sneaky bites.
Yeah. And Oko getting their counters.
Yeah. So we will see the corp accelerating a bit more next turn, like refilling the hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything important was trashed on the runner side, like one pinhole.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quite catch what else was trashed, but I don't think like any breakers or anything were trashed.
I didn't see it for sure, no. But Oko isn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to mention that the corp is deciding on her Yuko trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a hybrid release being picked up, which you could consider scoring.
I think you want to wait till you have butt and maybe powers that be if you're playing that. But something else that gives you're scoring a hybrid release for just a point isn't as worth it in the Oko deck.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, that's like the more ideal situation.
Yeah, and I don't think Corp is really under a whole lot of pressure here to try to rush out scores. I think they have the time to set back because that hitting the enemy set the runner back a bit, so they need time to reset up, get their money back up, get their cards back up. But we see Hermes coming down. I think that's it's like a Hermes. So the runner's getting there, slowly. But we'll see if Oko is able to accelerate this a little bit. She drew a lot of cards last turn, so we'll see if we start seeing a bunch of installs here.
I think that's a Fuji being installed.
Well, that's bold. I think there's a moon pool in hand, it looks like. Just taking a credit. Just saying, I'm content with this. It is interesting to leave the open server there for the to just run and gain value. But,
well, if that's a moon pool, I think there's a chance it's going to be used. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like it is a moon pool, and it is immediately used.
Discarding 1, shuffling 2. Let them dream. I think.
Putting some advancements on the card that is in that remote, which is defended by a Boto. That's tricky to get through.
Yeah, without any extra tools. Oh wait, is that Kurupira installed or?
No. Is it?
I
think they jacked out and then installed it. Giving and then on the nope, they are able to get through, steal the Fuji, take some damage.
Yeah, I think we missed the Kurupira install, but yeah, so they do get through. Threat 3 is still fine. Like, you don't need to be too worried about measured response or anything. I think a card was kind of
a bit of sloppy table play here from the players. I think that card was actually on the bottom of the deck when it was put out to be shuffled, and then didn't get picked up. So it is just put back and shuffled again.
Yeah, I think it was confused whether because the Hermes trigger was also done. But I think that one properly ended up in the hand.
Yeah, it looks like Judge is coming over to verify.
And a Shibboleth was trashed on the runner side. I think Shibboleth is like generally fine to lose, even though you're not happy to lose breakers. But I think depending on like what the alco is on exactly, they might be on like maybe 1 Latini or 1 white space.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say there's usually at least 1 or 2 code gates. White space is at least you can get through it without needing the breaker. Could even be on Diviner. That is a card you see every once in a while in some of the Oko decks.
Yeah, Diviner is a bit more annoying,
yeah. But jamming right back in that Boto remote, saying, yeah, you were able to get through it, you can't do it again. And we'll see if that holds true. Because Boto is threat 3, in fact, so it is slightly... Is it? Let me double check. Let's pull this up.
I think it's threat 4.
No, it is threat 4, so Boto is still slightly weaker than you'd like.
But it's still expensive. Like, you can't just like keep running into it unless you're kind of convinced that there's something to find.
Yeah.
I mean, you do still need to kind of take into account like potential Regenesis plays. For for which you could like do a run on archives just to. Oh, it is just a Bladder War. That's not that high value behind the Boto, but
especially since the Corp still has a good number of credits right now. It's not hitting it so hard. But we have the daily casts on the runner side. The runner just absorbing the hits and continuing to set up. But yeah, so with this initial push, now this really good remote is being occupied by a pad campaign. We gotta do something new. See what options we have here. We're gonna try to push something again. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a code gate.
I think a Moonpool was just installed, so the Moonpool can be rest to do a damage.
Charging the remote just to see what it is.
Yeah, the runner is running very aggressively. Trying to get the DreamNet triggers.
Looks like it was
or
stopped.
Another anemone.
Both central HQ and R&D covered by enemies.
This will activate the Bladder Ward damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, Carmen getting hit.
Ooh. That's with Carmen in hand, I guess you did want to make a successful run before playing the Carmen, but then paying for it. But getting a Let Them Dream, bouncing whatever was in that server behind the fly swatter, back to hand with Hermes. You're on threat 4 now. All you need is one more Fuji.
Yeah, so now you need to also consider measured, but the Corp probably won't be able to play one next turn.
Get a reprise coming in to go trash that Bladder Wart, bouncing the Boto back to hand. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, that's very, very aggressive play and like getting, I would say, kind of rewarded for it, like setting the Corp very back with this Boto being put back to hand.
Yeah, Corp being on 1 credit is a challenge. Like, even if there's measured responses in the deck, kind of hard to see how you could get up there to play that at this point. But firing off the ability, trying to find some new things to jam in remotes.
Yeah, I think that was a cohort behind the fly swatter, so this will allow the Corp to kind of regain some lost tempo.
Yeah, and that's what you need to see. That you need a cohort here. Like, not having seen cohort or Bladderwort in the first few turns, definitely a big tempo hit for Corp.
Yeah. I think both players will kind of take a few turns to kind of set up their stuff again. Like the runner will need to take into account measured response. But like the runner is definitely, I would say, ahead with the 4 points right now, unless the Corp can like pull off some kind of regenesis play.
Yeah, but it looks like they just ran archives to get the value, saying you have 2 credits, you can't res whatever that ice is on archives, forcing the spin doctor pop.
I think that makes sense because you don't want like too much phase downs to accumulate. For regenesis, for like the spin doctor needs to be used now. Also for the hybrid releases, things like that. Moonpool as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't just let them have a server.
That is a fencer.
We do see the cohort getting rezzed. We're going to use that, get some money, get some cards, trigger Oko, get some more cards. It's a nice virtuous cycle.
Yeah. I think that's a Hansei, so the corp can potentially get back up to a high credit total again.
Mm.
I think that's a petty cash being played. Yeah. So petty cash Hansei is like very nice combo to get back up on a healthy credit total.
Yeah. Yeah, Oko needing to rebuild right now. But the credit totals get in there. They have ice on the centrals. You know, they need a few moments to breathe, and we'll see if the runner really gives her that. We see a FUT being rezzed, so we're in the damage phase here.
Yeah, I think the runner will need to give some room to the core because you do need to be a bit wary of potentially like double measured, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the runner will say like, I don't expect you to have it, but it's something that you should at least keep in mind, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nuka coming down. Nice way of
Mm-hmm.
drawing a bunch of cards and criminal. We still
Yep.
haven't seen a class act, so prim draw is always a little less than what you'd want, even with that
DreamNet.
the DreamNet firing every turn. We do see a second shibboleth. We're able to get it down, but we still don't have an answer for sentries yet.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like only one other revolver or if there's gonna be different ways to like either privileged access to get back programs or multiple revolvers.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised to see privilege access in a Vic deck, especially if it doesn't look like they're on the version that's playing Arucera's crew. But privilege access is just gives you a tag that you can clear easily, gives you a program back, gives you a resource back. Like it's exactly what the deck, that's what Crims want, really. Give me all the recursion, and the cost is something that I can just pay. I don't care. I'll clear a tag and gain a credit. But going in, clearing out that cohort, kind of necessary. Can't let the corp continue to have that much gas.
Yeah, I think the corp is considering scoring the hybrid release now, which would. Oh no! Oh, that was petty cash, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the hybrid release, so now we have a FUT like with some counters. Could make
Looks
some
like
sense. Oh, that's
that's
powers.
also powers that be. So we are getting all the triggers.
Yes.
We get an install from powers, we get an install from hybrid, and we do 2 damage from FUT, and we get counters on our ID. Everything works together.
It was clean getaway and something else. I think it might have been mutual favor, but I'm not sure.
Maybe. Hard to say. Went so fast.
I think powers got back an ice on top of itself.
And then you put back the cohort. So I think the
no, the hybrid release
back
got
the
the ice.
ice.
Yeah.
Because that was face down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cohort behind Fly Swatter probably means that it's just gonna be thrashed again, I guess, next turn.
Sure, but it's just taxing clicking credits, right?
Yeah, of course. Oh, Hermes also. That's interesting because you could like bounce the ice in front of FUT as well.
Yeah.
And you can.
Yeah, I think bouncing the ice in front of FUT seems like a lot better idea because you need to be able to get rid of that. And being able to do that without having to, you already know you can get through the fly swatter really easily. So being able to get through that without having to spend a boomerang or a pinhole or anything like that, that's significant. But here we are. See if Nuka can give the runner any answers. Having a good long think about this. You know, I
I
feel
think that the top card in the runner's hand is transfer, but I don't think that's gonna be played right now.
Yeah, I mean, how much more damage is the runner willing to take, really? Or how much are they willing to risk? You know, you want to see a revolver at least at some point before charging some of these remotes.
Let's say Paladin.
The Paladin into
Bit
daily
late.
tasks. Just
Bit late, but
get some money. Can't argue with that, you know. Money's good.
yeah, money's good.
But it also doesn't deal with threats on the board the way that one might hope.
I think the corp accidentally saw too many cards.
Fortunately, that is just, I think, a warning and a shuffle, even in this level of play, because no information was revealed to the opponent. So easy enough to fix, unlike other ways in which information can be revealed. So, corp sitting on 8 credits, not a whole lot right now, but enough to do most things they might want to do.
Yeah.
Whole host of cards in their hand. I wonder if you try to set up maybe a Regenesis play here or something. Because I feel like they just need, if they can get some points on the board, then the runner gets in a very stressful situation very quickly.
Well, yeah, Regenesis is scored right here. It suddenly completely flips the game around because the corp just needs to fast advance a 2-pointer to to win. But I think it would be difficult because, like, we know a cohort was bounced. I think maybe that could put some incentive to like try to bait a runner somewhere.
So install behind the fly swatter and then shuffle and random install 2 more cards down. Nobody knows what those are until they get looked at. They are both there and not there.
Didn't quite catch what was installed, but
no one knows what was installed. She took 2 cards and shuffled them up and put them on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see what the 2 options would be.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, we saw the cohort get bounced by Hermes, so you would assume that one of them would be cohort.
One of them might be a spin doctor, could be a moon pool, could be even a reaper function.
Yeah, I think in the hand at least at some point I saw a bladderwort being drawn. I think there was indeed already still a moon pool.
We are seeing a pinhole going through the easiest to break thing, which is the fly swatter. It's like running it basically gives you a card. And killing the fight, because you have to deal with that if you want to touch more agendas.
Yeah.
But now what?
I think you want to see at least one of the face down cards that was put down.
Yep, goes after one of them. And it turns out to be a cohort, and the cohort is trashed.
Okay, so the cohort was put there. That makes me want to check the one behind fly swatter, but the runner is running low on credits.
Yep, and there's the spin doctor. Looks like maybe immediately use it. Yeah, putting back Fut and Ansei review by the looks of it. So there's 2 spin doctors out of the game. Yep. A mild pet peeve that is 2 different arts for the same card in a corp deck. Alt arts are great. That's one of the instances where I say if you're gonna put it in there, find one and stick to it. It's even a tactical disadvantage because if the runner sees both of them, they know that they didn't see the same card twice.
Yep, that's true.
Or continuing on the trend of just let's keep installing things.
Yeah, so it was. Oh, that's a wage
That's a
worker?
wage workers. So 4 installs this turn from the corp saying you might have your DreamNet and you might be tripping some credits, but you can't deal with all of these, even with your fencer. And how much is serious and how much is something that's not caring about too much? We see a Bravado go into the Fly Swatter remote, making some money.
Yeah, I don't think that card is like too important because nothing would. It was Bladderwort, yeah.
Yeah, but
I think you just leave that.
You are making a bunch of money off of the Bravado, so it's not the worst idea to trash it. And sometimes you just don't want to be pinged. It's very clear that Riel could dip below the 4 credits just by rezzing one of these cards out here.
Yeah.
Probably another cohort that I think goes down.
It's a Moonpool, I think.
That was a Moonpool, okay.
And Campbell. And that is a cohort, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever the corp puts out all these agendas and you check the wrong ones, it's always such a bad feeling. You're just like, if only I had picked the right one to run, the more important one. But maybe the Moonpool was the more important one. Who knows?
I don't think we've seen the Regenesis, but I assume it must be in the corpse deck, right?
I cannot imagine an Oko deck that doesn't play Regenesis right now. I'm sure it's possible, but I can't imagine it.
Yeah, maybe it's like an alt art and we haven't recognized it.
Maybe.
Or it hasn't been drawn.
We haven't seen a lot of agendas, honestly. Like, yeah. I'm expecting more. There's a FUT getting rizzed in that one of the face down cards from the last turn. But it doesn't look like. I think Riel took 3 credits and then drew a card.
Hansei, I think.
I played Hansei. Okay. So back on lots of money. We're up to 15, 16 credits.
We also haven't seen much influence, and the wage workers makes me wonder whether, like, it could be a hostile architecture deck as well.
But we might even see how they run, and trying to get a tag and kill that way.
That could be possible.
But we do see twinning on the runner side coming down. Not really sure where the recurring credits are going to come from at the moment, but there's
Paladin and Fencer. But...
Oh, I guess Paladin, yeah.
Still haven't seen any Sentry breaker on the runner side. The corpse deck is looking quite thin also. Like, Oko has fired a few times already. And indeed, not very... Like, I guess there must be agendas in archives, right?
You'd think. They have to be somewhere,
Or they're all at the bottom, it's possible.
But I suspect at this point the Oko hand is probably very full of agendas.
Yeah.
With the ice in front, I think they're feeling relatively safe. And yeah, I mean, you have to wonder if there's going to be a push soon, but we see an ice and a card installed behind it. Draw, install, FUT going up. And that's always the thing. Like, you want to be able to steal the agendas and fight these pushes, but you have to deal with FUT first, unless you feel like taking, upwards of 4 or 5 damage potentially.
Yeah, the scary thing for the corp is like any Fuji access could like end the game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I might
I'll
bet
go
that
ahead.
this is a Regenesis push.
It could be because like the runner is still in a sort of awkward position, and I think was it Lion's Mane put in front?
Maybe.
Like
That
there
would
was a
be
Lion's Mane in the corpse hand.
boomeranging R&D to get in, try to see some cards, try to bounce some things using Hermes,
Yeah, Hermes could be disastrous.
trashing the top card. I didn't see what that was, but it was a trashable. Second card stays.
I think it looked like a Wayland card, so it could have been measured maybe or hostile,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not quite sure. So no Hermes bounce, unfortunate for the runner. Did the runner take damage? I know it was boomerang, right?
It was boomerang, yeah. So, in as much as playing a boomerang from your hand is taking some damage.
I mean, it does get shuffled back in the deck, but yeah. Oh, transfer.
Yeah,
Or
discard
was it
transfer.
discarded?
That
Okay.
was discarded. All right, we see triple advance. Is this? That is a Regenesis. So we are
Ooh.
going to see something big, probably being added to the score area here. We're also going to see 3 damage from FUT, and we're going to see a card installed from Powers That Be. This is a pretty devastating play. It's like maybe just a 2-pointer?
No, it's a Fuji.
That was a Fuji, okay.
Oh, that was a bold play because if the runner just accesses archives, then I don't think there was a way for the corp to save the Fuji.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense that the corp felt like they needed to take some risk to kind of get back.
So now it is 5-4. Corp suddenly feeling like they might have an upper hand here. All it takes is a moon pull and a 3-2 score out from hand.
And the Mumpo is being fetched back with powers. Makes sense.
We're still gonna see a bounce from Hermes, so Moonpool might not be long for the world, but
I
it's
think there
still
is a Fuji in hand, so that could be potentially dangerous. Oh, they installed back with the wage workers click.
yeah. It turns out getting extra clicks in a turn pretty good. So now the runner was in a really good position, and now their position's a little harder. They don't have any more counters on the. Well, they're gonna go for it, I guess. Just finally installing something to deal with the an enemy, and then going for it.
Really hammering R&D.
Yeah, like I said, the agendas are somewhere. And first card is trashed.
Some Moonpool.
Second card also trashed. Didn't see what it was, but both of them were trashables.
Spin Doctor, I think.
Mm.
It looked kind of yellow. Wait, how many cards are in the corpse R&D?
Not a lot. I'd say probably like 7 or 8. But it looks like this might be game.
Oh, just Moonpool and longevity.
Moonpool and scoring longevity for the win. That is a clean score to 7 for Oko, and Riel will take this game.
GG. Yeah, the Regenesis push was like really, really crucial.
Yeah, that was clutch. Not having an agenda bounce, R&D holding for those 2 turns, also very clutch. Hitting the early in enemies. It's that's why I hate playing against Oko, because it's always an enemy. It's never an enemy, but it's always an enemy. And this time it was an enemy. Um, it puts
Oh,
you back so far as Prim to take that early damage.
Archives was Lion's Mane, so I guess that's why the Corp felt kind of somewhat safe to do this push, and then the Regenesis was also Lion's Mane. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Lion's Mane a good card, especially when the runner doesn't have a Sentry Breaker.
Yes. Yeah, it's very tough to get through.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Sentry Breaker.
But well played to both sides. Tough fought game. It was swingy. One hand, the runners looked like they were up, then the Corp came storming back, and Oko can do that too. Oko has one of the best recovery abilities of maybe any of the Corps in the game right now. Being able to, now that Melies is no longer with us, being able to bring back multiple cards, just put things out, and just kind of overwhelm the runner. And we saw a perfect example of that.
Yeah, score a Genesis and then the 2-pointer from hand, and then together with the 1 point that was scored earlier, just get to a clean 7 points.
Yeah.
In a very few amount of turns.
Yeah. So well done, both players. That is going to